terrible, but he was like 2.5 years old, and a guy cut me off, and I said, "You douche," and all of a sudden I hear in the backseat, douche? And then, like, hearing that come from a 2.5-year-old is like the funniest fucking thing you'll ever hear in your life. So I started laughing, and he noticed I was laughing, so he kept saying it. Douche?
And welcome to the, sixth session of League of Unexpected Heroes-ish. That was our intro, talking about a 2-year-old saying douche.
I mean,
So you just know it's going to be that kind of night.
I'm trying to remember what my kid was saying, but it came out horror. And I'm like,
Oh,
what are you trying to say?
like...
He's like, the whore. What?
But seriously, the last thing, like, right before we get in the game is that my kid loves dinosaurs, and he actually can pronounce the names really well. Except for one, I don't know which dinosaur it is, but he keeps calling it a cuntosaurus.
Oh my god.
And he's trying...
I just say that?
And we're not correcting him because it's fucking hilarious.
At least he's not actively saying cunt.
I'm waiting for that parent-teacher conference, dude.
I actually met with his teachers today. No mention of cuntosauruses. So we're good.
Until he calls his teacher one. Wait till prehistoric sessions.
Oh, no, that would be hilarious, actually. I was like,
Nah,
well,
man.
what'd you do?
Wait till like 4th grade when they start the birds and the bees stuff.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
So, like, last session we did
you're
some...
recapping?
I fucking don't know.
Does anyone even remember what happened last session?
So,
Yeah, I just told
okay,
you about it.
Yeah, so...
Oh, we weren't
Okay,
recording.
so we took the guy, and I don't even remember his name, Charles D. Whit...
Oh, the douchebag.
Didn't you give him a name, Greg?
Oh, yeah, I
Oh, are you talking about the merchant?
Yeah.
Merchant.
Oh, that's Arthur.
Oh, yeah, so, like, Arcus or something like that, I don't know.
I got on to him for not formally introducing himself to me.
But he takes us to the city. Like, they show us to our quarters and rooms and all that stuff. Like, I guess the other two people went to bed or something along the lines. I went to go check some stuff. We couldn't find anything. I stole something.
You did.
And then...
We didn't get caught.
Didn't get caught. And then we went to bed.
Yeah, that's a rough rundown.
And what did I steal? Hold on.
Oh, and then you guys had a meeting with your cousin, second cousin, long-lost cousin.
removed.
So, basically, our heroes found themselves in the headquarters for the guild, the merchant guild known as the Bond Stallions.
Manual of exercise.
They returned
That's
Arthur
expensive-ish,
to the
dude.
guild, and the guild leader, Diessa, of clan, I forget, was very happy.
lady wouldn't let me
No, I have the notes. I'll just get to it in just a moment. But she was very happy. Told you she would reward you in the morning because it was like past midnight by the time you got there.
Reward
2
us.
a.m.
Hey, you weren't there.
Okay.
We'll steal it from him.
And anyway, yeah, that
And the cleric retired.
you guys had a fight on the road though. Wasn't it?
Yeah, we got elk meat and boar meat and stuff like
Yes, a giant elk and a giant boar.
Oh, that's right. I'm pissed off at you. I don't remember now.
You met a giant elk and a giant boar.
that. Yeah, one of them was Pergononot. This is never going to be over for me. This is going to be inserted into the conversation most of the night. Be prepared.
Sorry. I got stuck in his head.
Ooh, get my GF Gregnant?
Oh lordy. Okay, so anyway,
In the
I
morning.
think didn't I end in the tavern because I was gambling with some dude and I bluffed him out of.
I do believe you found your way to a tavern. Yes.
Yeah, you said you were gonna come back to the guild hall to go to bed.
Oh yeah,
Sleeping
that's
at the
right.
tavern.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
you found your way to a tavern. You came back to the guild hall for sleepies. Our cleric went to sleep almost as soon as he got there.
Cleric was the only good one.
Which is ironic.
Meanwhile, the rogue and the paladin decided to snoop around, see if they could find anything that would implicate the Bonnet Stallions in the kidnapping of Mr. Arthur Fuckface. And
didn't find anything.
they did not find anything, no. But our rogue did find a manual of exercise, so maybe that'll help him out.
Oh, and I can use that. That's like for physical fitness.
And that was like the one thing you found that you could use. Everything else was magical and you had no use for.
I know.
Our hill dwarf monk, he, after meeting with his cousin, went straight to bed, and after they found nothing but a slightly helpful manual, the other two party members decided to turn in for the night as well. So, you all awaken feeling quite rested. It's the first time you've had a decent bed in probably 4 days.
Okay, that part's true.
You kind of lost track of time on the road, but it's been 4 days since you've had a nice good rest. It feels like it's been a week. But you all awake feeling nice and refreshed. The sun is shining. Outside it is a very beautiful day. What are we doing, folks?
I want to. Is there a thieves guild here? Let's see.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
There's not a guild per se, but there is. You do know of a gathering of roguish-like individuals such as yourselves, where members of the Thieves Guild have been known to meet up every once in a while. There's no telling whether or not any of them are in town, but you do know that you shit on occasion. Did you know that?
Yes.
I shit at least
Like, if we
3
really
times a
wanted to
day.
roleplay hard, like, somebody would basically need to piss or shit at some point during the trip.
No, you do know that
Shit,
there
first thing
is
more to
a tavern. It is called the Crossed Hammers,
Okay.
and it resides towards the northern wall of the city. So basically, fuck, I'm gonna need my notes.
Guys, I forced him to get his notes. Damn it.
I mean, what are we? Not even 10 minutes in, so.
I mean, I should have had these to begin with, so fuck me. But
It's because you guys are more organized, that's why you didn't want to.
yeah, Shotstone. That's what I named the city. Damn it. Button. Okay, so you do know. So basically, the city of Shotstone is built very much like a circle, with the head of the Merchants Guild Hall in the very center. It is built on a small-ish hill. Basically, 3/4 of the hill is guarded by walls. The other is a sheer cliff. The northern wall is where the sheer cliff is, and because it feels like it is less in need of protection, it's less regulated, less structured. So that's where some of the more unsavory characters tend to congregate. So the Crossed Hammers is an inn/tavern that you will find towards the northern wall of Shawstone, if you were to venture out that way.
I want to venture out that way. I'll find Christoph and see if he wants to come with me.
First of all, before we get into that, what is everyone else doing?
So
I'm gonna go to the temple.
Okay. The temple is going to be, there's actually 3 temples in Shawstone. There's one to the east, where basically the god of the sun is worshipped. Palor, god of sun. is worshipped.
Ooh, that's a good god, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's Palor's. I mean, if you want to get technical, he's neutral good. But, and then there is a temple towards the west, where the goddess Avandra, goddess of change and luck, is worshipped. And then there is a temple towards the south where you guys entered. That one is to Sahanin, goddess of the moon.
Alright, I'll just
Actually, you know
visit
what?
the one that's close.
Actually, you know what? Switch that. Sahanin is to the west, and Avandra will be to the south.
I'm not going to be picky. I'm just going to go to the closest one.
Okay? That is going to be the one that is to the west. That is Sahanin.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys are waking up. Nate, our rogue, is getting ready to search for Kristoff, find him. Milan is getting ready to venture out to the temples. You three, whoever wants to go first, what are you guys doing?
I'm going to be milling around the headquarters, talking with people about who needs to buy mead.
Okay. This time of morning, most everyone is having breakfast. You remember where it is. The guild hall was this particular guild hall in your travels is a place that you've been before. You've been traveling for quite a while and dealing with the merchants for quite some time, so you remember where the kitchen cafeteria area is.
I just go there and hang out and talk with people.
Okay, Kristoff.
I think I'm just gonna take a stroll outside. You know, not really much going on.
Okay, Alondria.
I'm gonna go get paid.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So Nate, you and Kristoff both head to the door. You end up meeting on the foyer. Aladria, you are headed upstairs to see if Diessa is in her office.
Yep.
Milan, since you are also heading out the door, you run into Kristoff and Nate as well.
Good morning, Kristoff.
Hey, what up?
Would you care to, I know it's early, but would you care to go to this tavern that I know of that would serve the greasiest breakfast food that you would ever want and meet some unsavory characters?
Wait a
I thought that's
minute.
what you meant by greasy food.
You're telling me there's a tavern open right now that sells greasy food. Why the fuck are we sitting here right now?
I love how no one's even commented on the fact that Milan's there. Sorry.
Oh, and yes, and sorry. And,
I mean,
Hey, no matter
apparently,
knowledge.
well, apparently he's totally fine with it because he's not talking either.
well, and Milan, would you care to join us?
I do apologize. I won't be able to join you. I do need to go have my daily prayer and go talk to see what the religions are around
Does
here.
he have a condescending tone going on?
That's
Come
just
on,
John.
Milan. Greasy food.
Greasy.
Pounds of ale.
It does sound wonderful, but I'm sorry. I haven't prayed to my God recently today, and I need to.
All right. Well, Kristoff, let's go pray to the greasy egg.
To pray to the
I'm
greasy
drinking
what?
at least.
He wants to pray to the greasy egg.
Oh.
And bacon.
Okay, that sounds better. I mean, egg isn't really greasy.
It can be if you have bacon. Off we go, sir.
All right. So yeah, I'm
In the
going.
distance, you hear
I'm
someone
going
whisper,
to
ale, ale,
the
ale."
greasy egg.
That's not what it's called, but that's what he called it. So I mean, if that's how you know it.
Oh, yeah, no,
That's
that's
how
how
he's
I
gonna
know.
remember it from here on out.
So you guys start heading north. The city is in that pre-hustle and bustle stage. that sense of everyone's getting ready for the day. You've got shopkeepers opening up their windows. You have people who are sweeping the streets, trying to basically get rid of some of the mess, at least some of the mess from the day before. There's really not a whole lot going on. You guys kind of woke up before everything starts getting real, truly busy. As such, it's very easy to make your way north. While you guys are traveling, Eladria, you come to the doors to DS's office, or rather, no, you didn't go with them last night, did you? Okay, so you're gonna have to actually ask around to find DS's office.
Ask around.
Lucky for you,
These are my.
there is a halfling male who has.
I should have 2 more.
What the, oh, okay. There is a halfling male who is wandering around the upper floors. Since the only direction you have is last night going,
Okay.
they went upstairs.
Does he look like he belongs there?
Yeah, you can see he's on his left hand breast. Chest, pec, whatever you want to call it.
There's just
On the left hand side of his chest, he's wearing a pin with the bonded stallion's image. It's looks like a stallion that's running, but just like the head, so like the mane's like flowing.
Made custom.
I'm so creative.
hey, you're doing great, dude.
It's funny because that's what I actually wrote it down as. So.
Nice. Okay.
Oh damn.
Excuse me, small one.
Well,
Miss?
that seems kind of rude, doesn't it?
Why? I'm bigger than you.
Fair point. What can I do for you?
Where's the boss at?
Are you talking about Miss Diessa?
Yes.
Oh, well, she is in her quarters. Last I checked, or unless she's woken up. If that's the case, then she's probably having her breakfast.
Where's that at?
That would be in her quarters.
Where's that at?
She resides at the top of the building in her own private suite. That's one of the perks of being the boss, I guess. But no one's really allowed in there.
She sleeps on the roof?
No, just the upper floor, just like the top floor.
Okay. I didn't realize there were so many floors in such a tiny building.
Tiny. This is one of the grandest buildings in all of Phrygia. Did you not know that?
Not compared to the outdoors, but okay.
Well, I mean, it's a building, not the wilderness. It kind of can't be that big.
It explains why it's not as fun.
You really aren't from around here, are you, miss?
What gave it away?
Well, the fact that you're nude. That's one thing. We don't really allow nudity, but then again, your scales kind of make up for it, I guess.
What would you be looking at?
Well, mostly your sword. Mostly your spears. They kind of frighten me. You.
I have a spear, but the halberd's much bigger.
I don't know the difference. I'm sorry. I'm just.
Oh, here,
I'm just
say hello to Bethany.
Bethany. The halfling kind of like backs away, kind of like arches his back, and.
This is Bethany. This is Susan.
Hello, girls. If I tell you how to get to Miss Diaz's room, will you stop threatening me?
Sure.
Okay, you just go to the top floor. It's the 5th floor, and there should be two big doors at the top of the staircase. That's where her office is. But like I said, she's not in there right now, or at least she shouldn't be. And her chambers are in a door that is like to the side of her office, but you'd have to go into her office to get there. It's kind of like connected. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Can I go now?
Wait. I want to give you something.
Will it hurt?
I mean, I suppose if you put it in certain places, it could.
House of
He just
Jester.
kind of looks at you. His eyes are like super wide. like you realize that halflings tend to have big eyes in general, but
Right.
but the way he's looking at you, it almost looks like his face is like 1/3 eyes.
I want to point out that I intensely missed D&D games. Already.
I am going to give him one of the gemstones that I have.
Oh. He seems a bit taken aback, but he reaches out rather timidly. You scare the man, or halfling, I suppose. You scare him, and he just kind of tenderly takes it from you. You're very kind, miss. I'm sorry that I'm sorry that I mistook you for some sort of rogue.
You have those.
There are a few in the city, yes.
I see.
Yes, we've had a little bit of trouble in the last month or so. I'm just some minor thieving is all, though.
Any of them tieflings?
Not that I know of.
Are there any around here?
Oh yes, we have a minor tiefling population. They haven't been implicated, if that's what you mean. Why? Is there a problem?
Not very long. Not very soon.
No, for-
Thank you.
He kind of gives you a weird look and then scurries away. Despite his newfound, despite the fact that you turned out to be quite pleasant towards him, he's still very frightened of you.
I'm okay with that.
Side note, I don't want to interrupt a new religion or anything like that, but if there are any beggars or homeless people on the side of the road, let me know.
Okay. We shall see. Okay, so Delg, you get to the cafeteria, and you see that it is quite full of merchants.
Oh God, he's
Some
pulling
of
out the
whom you,
mace.
some of whom you know, most of them, not so much. After all, the guild is quite large. You can't be expected to know everyone.
Perception to see if you know everyone.
You see that there are.
Nat 20.
You see that the guild hall has employed chefs to prepare the morning meal, and they have laid out quite a delicious-looking spread. There is ham, bacon, sausage, tankers of mead. There is also quite a number of various cheeses. So, breakfast of champions, really.
Yeah. I'm gonna head over and get me a plate. I'm gonna load it up with way more food than I could possibly ever eat.
Okay.
Piling it on. I'm gonna go over to where they've got the tankers of mead. I'm gonna grab one of the tankers of mead, dump out the mead, and fill it with my cask, just because it's a little bit larger than what I usually carry around to drink with. And kind of carry my plate and my mug of, or my tankard of mead, awkwardly, wandering around, pushing through people, trying to find people to talk to.
So basically, you're at the Golden Corral.
Yup.
So, as you are working your food, your your little mountain of stuff that you have. I'm sorry, it's just funny to imagine this hill dwarf with this like food that's probably as tall as he is. You anyway, sorry. Back on topic. You see a human man, kind of, sort of alone. He's, shouting stuff over to other people. So he's not like he's isolated himself. He's just kind of sitting by himself. You go over and you it's pretty much the only open spot. So you go over and you sit down next to him. As you crash your food onto the table, he starts. He looks over at you. Whoa there! That's quite a lot of food you got. You sure you're gonna be able to finish all of it?
It's been a few days since I had a good breakfast, so I figured I'd make sure I don't have to go back for seconds. I don't know, with this lot around, there might not be any left.
So, been on the road for a while, have you? Me too. The name's Greffolk. What's yours?
Delg Goron.
Nice to meet you. And, tell me something. Are you a member of this here fine guild?
Oh, absolutely. I've been a member for a little bit now.
Really?
And I will show my little token deal.
Ah, there it is. I didn't see it at first, hence my apprehension.
The beard tends to hide it.
Yeah. Well, that's perfectly all right. Just make sure that you keep it on display. Some of the other guild members around here can be a little uppity about the rules. So, where are you from, Delg?
Oh, lived in the mines mostly, but recently I'm out of Iconium.
Oh, you mean that little shipping village down in the southeast?
Aye, that'd be the one.
Oh, okay. I don't know much of it myself, but I have heard the name, particularly whispers among the higher-ups. Something special going down there, I take it?
Oh, we just had a whole ship full of foreigners from another country come in. Working on setting up a distribution path for my mead with them right now.
Hell, look at the big shot. Word comes down from higher up that they're finally letting us trade with outsiders, and you already got the inside ticket. Wow. You must have some kind of dumb luck.
Right place, right time.
I'll say. I've only just came back from the north. And gotta tell you, there ain't much going on there, except for from what I understand, a huge stalemate with the country to the north. Now, don't mind me, I'm just a merchant, but it sure makes selling wares up there quite difficult.
Sounds to me like you're selling the wrong type of wares.
Well, considering the places I've been, I thought maybe having some nice arms and armor would help up in the north. But no, they don't need me. They ain't got no cause for me.
Everybody's fighting. Nobody wants to look at weapons and armor. They want mead. They want to forget what they're doing, not be constantly reminded.
You got a point. You got a good point, Dad. You know what? I like you, Delg. You're the right kind of crazy. And by crazy, I mean drunk. Now, if you're so good, why don't you let me have a taste of that there mead?
If he's got a tankard or cup already, I'll reach over and dump out whatever's in it. Just right on the floor.
He kind of gives you a weird look, but he allows it.
And then, yeah.
After all, he did
Tip
ask
my
you.
keg. Fill him up.
Yeah, but wasting alcohol, dude. Like,
It's a waste if it's not a waste if it's not his.
It barely above water. Don't try the cheap swill they serve here.
I'm loving this interaction right now.
He takes a swig of your mead and gives you an improving look. You can definitely tell that he enjoys it. Meanwhile, Christoph and Nate, you guys are walking through. You haven't seen any beggars yet, but you are on the lookout for them. You make your way north. You get the feeling that all of the shops and most of the reputable places like taverns, things like that, tend to be towards the center of the city where the merchants are, where it would be regulated. As you get further north, you do start to get into the more kind of run-down areas. You start to see shops that have been closed down in a permanent kind of sense, windows boarded up, that sort of thing. They're not. There's not a whole lot of them, but you do get the sense that this is the poorer district. Milan, you are making your way west. It's pretty clear to see where the temple is. Aside from the Merchants Guild Hall, the temples are some of the more larger buildings. Only the taverns would really come close to the height. Not to mention the temple has a classic steepled kind of roof to it. So it's very easy to pick out. You make your way there quite quickly. So that you can begin your morning ritual. First temple you've been in since Iconium, really. Eladria, what are you doing?
I'm gonna head up to the boss's office.
Okay.
I'll follow the directions Apple gave me.
You get to the doors. You get up to the 5th floor, and just like the halfling told you, there are some very ornate double doors in front of you. You attempt to open them, but they are locked.
Oh, I would have knocked, but that works.
Oh, okay. Sorry. You knock. Nothing happens.
Oh, okay.
Would being a paladin allow you to bust down the doors?
Well, see, Paladin's not in the same sense as it was in other editions. Paladins in this edition go off of oaths. So as long as I follow the guidelines of the oath, then I still maintain my powers. Before it goes off of like your actual like alignment and deities and stuff. So that's the change there.
I'm pretty sure it was an older edition, but someone was telling me about a paladin they ran where they were technically supposed to be like good, but like it was more like it is now, where they followed an oath, and what their oath was that humans are inherently evil. Like
Was he following Styric
all
or something?
creatures are inherently evil.
Like
So
Yeah.
he felt like
Theory.
everything that he did was for the good of others, whether it was mass murder.
sounds like Styric.
Shar, maybe a minor paladin, a Shar.
Bane.
Be kind of tricked in that way.
I don't know.
He didn't go into detail,
Anyway.
but I thought it was hilarious.
But yeah, so technically, if I wanted to, I could bust down the doors, but I don't want to. Let's see. So I will head to the Temple of Lady Change.
Okay.
Temple
So
of
you
Lady
head
Change.
out.
Well, he knows which one I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
Avandra,
Yeah.
goddess of change and luck.
There we go.
Oh, because I thought you were like, because you said the Temple of Lady Change. I was just like, is that like a sex
I
change
knew-
temple?
She wants to change herself into such a way
Well, actually-
that her cleric friend will be able to just ravish her body.
You know, Because she has
I had
scales
nothing
now,
to
and you're
do.
cut yourself.
I mean, he is a dwarf, so I mean, they're pretty stout fellows.
This could be interesting.
I shouldn't say what I thought, but anyway,
Oh, good.
so yeah, I'm gonna head to that temple.
Right.
See, you said that, and all I can imagine now is Skyrim, like when they updated it and they put that lady down there that could change your face and stuff.
Could she also make you Pragoninat?
Pregnant.
Pregnant.
Um,
No, we can
Pertinent?
only
No,
adopt
you need
kids.
mods for that.
Christoph and Nate, are you doing anything on other than actually like heading
Eating
straight
greasy
towards?
eggs.
Are you?
If
Are
there's
you,
any, like I said, if there's any homeless, beggar children, anything like that on the way, I want
I'm
to
just
talk to them. Otherwise, I'm just walking my same pace there.
I'm just heading to the tavern.
okay. Well, I mean, you kind of have to follow him because you don't know where it is.
Yeah.
True. Are you guys talking to each other,
I
or is it
I
just stoic silent?
no,
walking?
we're talking to each other. I'm just trying to think in character. Like, do I know this place? I've been here before in my travels.
You've been here,
Okay.
but you didn't really spend a whole lot of time here,
Okay.
unless you want to have. I don't know. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm like,
I'm not going to
half-
control your character.
I'd say I spent half a year here.
Okay.
All right. No, this is it's a good place. It's the kind of food that will, fill your belly in the morning and put your butt on the commode in the afternoon.
Ooh. Hey, I mean, if I can get a good game of cards in with some people there, that sounds like heaven to me.
Let me tell you about the gentleman. You do not want to play cards with them there.
Are they good?
In the technical sense.
Like,
In the sense of they will cheat and rob you blind.
and you know?
Suddenly, a couple of kids in raggedy clothing run past you.
Hey, children, hold up.
They don't listen. They keep running.
Well, they're running from something. My bad.
Look around to see what they're running from.
There doesn't seem to be anything around.
Yeah.
The children just kind of run off into an alleyway.
Do they look like they're running out of fear or
I have-
playfulness?
Yeah.
They look like they're on a mission.
Dun, dun, dun.
I have candy and money.
Oh, no, you're a pedophile.
No.
And, one of the kids kind of
Wagon.
all the kids round a corner except for one. He kind of looks back at you, gives you a slight smile, and says, "No, you don't," and pulls up a bag and runs off.
You just got pickpocketed.
Hold on. I am a thief and I got sleight of hand. I should be able to figure this out.
Check yourselves.
Alright.
Hold on a second.
No, like actually, like
Oh.
check your.
I'm checking myself.
Your bag is still there. Christoph's bag is not.
Okay. I'm going to quickly cast Minor Illusion of a Dwarven Guard.
They run faster.
Doors are pretty slow.
Oh, well.
Okay, what's down
Sorry,
what's
buddy.
down the
Hey, I'm
alleyway?
the fastest one in the group, so.
Okay, so
Well, typically they are slower, so it's like You're the anomaly.
you, since you spent some time in the city, recognize that they are heading in the direction of the tavern.
Okay. All right. I know a shortcut, and we'll double back. I know a shortcut, and what we can do is that we can double around. They're headed towards the tavern. We can meet them there.
Okay.
All right, but you got to run now,
Book it!
Christoph takes off.
I can beat
and you got to follow me. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
of course.
sprinting as fast as we can.
All right. Go ahead and make athletic checks or acrobatics, whichever you prefer.
Can I read the manual of exercise while I'm doing this?
No.
I know.
Even if you could read while you're running, it probably wouldn't have much effect because the manual of
Acrobatics.
exercise is something that you have to study.
Oh.
You only get the
22.
benefit after like I think it's 8 hours of reading. Now that's not 8 hours continuously. That's cumulative.
I got a 22.
Okay. As you run,
Oh.
you manage to avoid any boxes or any crooks in the ground, anything that might trip you up.
One.
You do manage to avoid that. Good for you.
I got a 7. Hold on.
48 hours over a period of 6 days.
Hold on, and it's an athletics.
Wait, what was it?
48 hours over a period of 6 days.
Okay. So once you start, you have 6 days to read
Okay.
to spend 48 hours
I
studying.
with all my proficiency, I got 13.
Okay, that's enough to maintain your balance. You both run down the streets and alleyways, attempting to head off the children. Kristoff, most likely because of his half-elf heritage, manages to look very graceful as he's running and jumping over anything obstacle. He almost looks like a dancer. He almost looks kind of prissy as he's running
Aw.
and jumping.
Play Sandstorm.
Meanwhile, Nate is much more efficient in his running. He doesn't spend his time trying to vault over things. He just kind of scrambles over them. It's not quite as graceful, but it does get the job done. And he does manage. He doesn't trip himself up, at least. So you guys make it to the tavern.
Alright.
You guys make it to the tavern just in time to see your
Galaxy Note 8.
pesky group of children. There are 5 of them, by the way. Your pesky group of children sneaking their way through an alley. It seems once they lost you guys, or at least felt that they had lost you guys, they decided to slow down and meticulously work their way towards the tavern. Before you is a building, kind of looks a little dilapidated, almost like it's been abandoned, except for the fact that there's smoke coming from the chimney, and you can hear ruckus laughter and voices coming from inside, and of course the sign, 2 crossed anvil hammers, like smithy hammers.
Okay, and then the kids are sort of walking towards the tavern, right?
They are checking around them, trying not to be seen.
Is there anywhere we can kind of like I'm trying to get a general sense of how we can just surprise them.
I'm going to cast Minor Illusion to create a false hole. What looks like an entry to a building.
You know how to cast before you do.
Yeah.
Before you want to do that, I want you to cast Minor Illusion in front of us. We want to stand in front of us to make it look like the front of the tavern, and we stand right behind that. So that way, when they're walking towards it, we can surprise them.
Keep in mind, it's 5 feet by 5 feet.
That's fine. Just make it a certain. We can crouch down.
Okay. So what am I making this look like?
You're gonna make it look like the front of the tavern.
Okay.
A certain front portion of the tavern.
Oh, okay. So you want to camouflage, pretty much.
Yeah, we just want to camouflage us, okay?
All right. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, sorry, say that. You want to camouflage what now?
We're both going to crouch down in front of the tavern, and I'm going to cast Minor Illusion to make us look like as if we are part of the tavern.
Just
Okay.
just right in front of us. We're gonna crouch
Yeah.
down and be huddled together and all that stuff.
Okay. You work your spell. To everyone around you, you seem to disappear. If anyone had been watching. The kids kind of work their way out of the alley that they're hiding in. But they don't go for the front door. They seem to be going around back.
Sure.
And
Okay, as
The
a
whole
thief,
while.
you should know that.
the whole while they are doing their best to be quick and be stealthy.
We can see them just fine. Like right before they head to the side of the building, let's run out and cut them off.
I'm going to cast Prestidigitation and make sounds of multiple guards coming from the back alleys around the corner.
Okay. Before you do, check your minor illusion. Is that a concentration spell?
Let me look.
Maybe
I
one of the
don't-
kids cast minor illusion to make you think that they're going out back, and they really didn't go on back.
Let me see here. Where would it say in here?
Little shits.
Just saying.
No, just 1 minute
They
duration,
got
no
his purse
concentration.
without you guys realizing.
Say what?
No concentration.
No.
They got
Nope.
1
his
minute
purse.
duration though.
That's what I say. They got his purse before.
Oh, I would have
Alright.
caught it. It's just
So you do manage to cast both spells at once, since there's no concentration element. The sound echoes off the walls, frightening the children. They kind of look hesitantly at each other before making a bolt in several different directions.
I want to see the one that stole his purse. Where is he
Make a
gone?
perception check.
He's not even in the group. He was.
Perception.
10.
Oh, I got a good one. So perception is +4, so 23.
Jesus, dude.
Damn. So you clearly see the one who stole your purse. He is actually the only one still trying to get into the tavern. The other four have bolted off, God knows where. But he is decided he's going to risk going through the front door now.
Gotcha.
Okay. We'll stay where we're at.
Okay. He gets. We're just going to use the figures just so that we can make heads or tails of this.
Yeah.
So, let's say you two.
It's down the wall.
Let's say you two are right here, next to the tavern. The door's right there. He's coming forward, and he gets to about right here.
I'm gonna reach out and like grab him by the scruff. Just basically just grab him like a big bear hug and just pull him.
Okay, make a. Does 5e have grapple checks?
Yep.
Okay, make a grapple check.
Can I do a helping
Maybe
hand?
what contested
You
strength.
wanna help me with this too, just in case.
Yeah.
something-
Grapple.
Yeah, help.
Helping hand. So you to give him advantage.
Okay.
20, natural 20.
Okay.
Fuck sticks, man.
Yeah.
You're pissed off.
Yeah. You definitely managed to grab him by the scruff of his neck and pull him in. Whoa! What the? You? How the? What? Don't hurt me, mister, please.
What's your name, son?
Aiden.
What?
Might I?
Oh. Ralphie! My name's Ralphie.
Hi, Ralphie. How long have you been doing this?
When you grow up in the slums, you learn how to do things.
So, what made you think that we would be easy grifters?
You're from out of town. You out of towners are always an easy grift.
Did you know that I was a thief as well?
I thought he acknowledged that you.
He says out of towners.
You, like a professional.
Mm-hmm.
Bull. I don't believe you.
Sleight of hand, I want to be able to steal the coin purse that he stole from him.
Go ahead, give me a check.
That's when you need the net 20.
Yeah. 15 plus
Oh, that's pretty good too. So.
Yeah.
20. Dirty 20.
You
Okay.
dirty boy.
Hang on. Sorry. Alright, so yeah, you successfully managed to get his coin purse.
I hold it up to him and he went,
Well, Kristoff's coin purse.
yeah. It was just like, does this make me look like I'm not a professional?
So you're a good lifter. That doesn't mean you were part of the guild. Yeah, I may be 12, but I know about the guild. I know who they are.
I was part of the guild.
They don't let anyone out. How'd you get out? How could you have been part of the guild and not be part of the guild?
Me and the leader had some words. And that's not the point. The point of the matter is I was able to get out. Okay? So Ralphie, you're a little sloppy, in your execution, and a little obvious actually.
Oh yeah? Not obvious enough that you didn't even realize I got your friend's money.
Well, you made a couple of mistakes. First thing is that you ran really fast by us. That was the good trick to begin with. But when I called out to you, we would have been none the wiser and kept walking off. But apparently you need to turn around and gloat. A good thief would never gloat about what he would do. Especially in front of his mark. That's really stupid.
How was I supposed to know that you were gonna be able to follow us?
Also, because I know my way around the city. But I think you can be some use to us, Rafi. The hell? What happened to Ralphie? Error.
Does not compute. Are we trying to get John back?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was interesting.
It's just like Ralphie head starts spinning. Cannot assist. Error. Shutting down.
Do you like pea soup?
Okay. All right. And the cleric is back.
You sure?
Is he?
Sorry.
Are you with us? Are you with us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay.
Decided to turn off for some reason.
Okay. Well, since you're here, you successfully made it to the temple, and you're doing your thing. Yeah. Is there anything specific that you're doing?
At the temple, no, just, I'm going to go ahead and just make sure I put a little daily tax into it and then put a donation and make sure I just have a good prayer.
Homina, homina, homina.
Oh, these ones are so cute. They're tiny. I got a 1.
But you can't even be mad when it's those dice. Like,
I got a natural 20. All right.
At least they're balanced.
You
I got a 15.
got a 6.
A 20. Nat 20. Maybe I should be using these. 11. That's not bad.
Doug, you and Griffolk have some basic light conversation. You can talk about mead and things like that. Share stories about your travels. He offers to help you eat your breakfast.
yeah, if this plate gets empty, I'll absolutely let him pick off mine. I got plenty.
Thank you for reacting. I was hoping you would pitch in on whether you would or would not allow that. I didn't just want to say you do. But I also don't have a conversation prepared. You notice that most of the merchants have their fill and then go about the rest of their day. They leave the cafeteria presumably to go work on stuff for the guild or stuff for their business, whatever it is they happen to do. Griffolk tells you that he is on his way to the capital to take some mentoring in blacksmithing so that he can perfect his wares that he sells. What are you going to do?
Okay, yeah, if he's talking about learning blacksmithing, I'm gonna suggest that he visit the mines where I grew up. We've got best dwarves in the country here.
Oh, really?
And humans in the capitals, they can't make nothing worth it.
You may have a point there. Most of the best arms and armor do tend to most of the best metalworking, I should say, do tend to come from dwarves. Where was it you said you grew up?
I don't think we ever really gave that place a name.
Do you want me to?
Yeah. Well, the mountains. It's in the mountains, or underneath the mountains, to the to the west of Iconium.
Yes.
Over by
Or,
Iconium.
sorry, it's more to the north,
To the north.
of Iconium. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So to the north of Iconium, I've got a third cousin there that Master Smith, always looking for more apprentices.
Really?
My,
Huh. Well, I might have to check that out.
Looks like a nipple.
I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. I'm sorry.
It's for. There's a ball with it that you put water in and then freeze it, and it makes a rolling ball of ice.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I just heard nipple, so I'm already happy.
So, anyway,
Well, if that's all it took for you to be happy.
I'm a very simple man.
your
I like nipples.
is this character's name? Nate.
Yes.
Can I have my purse back?
Yes. I'm gonna hand.
You said that so manly.
Give this back to you.
Could have said coin purse.
Here. Okay. So
Ah.
here's the deal. I need your help around the city, and
Yeah.
I'll pay.
Terrific. Continue. Just-
And I'll pay you, Ralphie.
How do you feel about
I hand my
that?
purse back to you.
that sounds good to me.
Anyway, what am I looking at as far as?
No, to Ralphie.
It
I'm just
feels
giving you your
rather
money back.
dwarfish.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking to Ralphie for employment. Okay. Yeah. No. Hey, thanks. And I'm gonna count the money, make sure it's all
It's
there.
up to you to figure out how to pronounce it,
Mhm.
though.
I got a nat 20. I got it all back.
Oh,
Make it
okay.
better. Sounds good to me.
But I say to Ralphie, I might need your help around town here, and in fact, I think I want you to be my go-to person. Okay. How much was in your purse?
200.
200. Now it's not gonna be what. It's not gonna be what. You got from my friend's here purse, but I'd like to give you some coin if you're willing to help me out. Otherwise, my magic friend here knows some very dark spells, and
I'm kind of still holding a little grudge.
and he's not very happy that you stole his purse and little coin purse, and he actually just learned a spell on how to turn humans into toads. I mean, he's been wanting to try it out.
It's worked pretty good on deer, but I ain't tried it on a human yet. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Please don't turn me. Please don't turn me into anything unnatural.
Unnatural.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well,
I got the reference.
yes, I got the reference. So here's the deal. I'm gonna give you 10 gold. That's enough for plenty of food and clothing in the city. Right now. I'd like to keep you in my employment right now. Okay. And if you can give me some whispers around town, let me know about certain things that I'm looking for, or just anything that you hear, I'll keep paying you. I'll give you some food, I'll give you some clothes, just whatever you need.
What about the bosses around town? If they find out I'm snitching for you, then I'm as good as dead.
Well,
Toad?
to be fair, you're also almost as good as a frog, so it's your choice.
I guess you don't leave me with much options.
Yeah.
Fine. I'll tell you everything I know. Then I can go, right?
Well, not only want to hear what you know, but I also want to hear what you are going to know from now on. Now that, from every day I'm in town. You get paid every time?
Yeah, till I'm dead. Probably won't be long. Fine.
And, you know, if you can get your friends on it and let them know that, you know, I'm looking for some information, I'll pay them too.
I ain't ratting out my friends. I'll rat out the big boss just because I don't want to be turned into some toad. He looks pointedly at you, Kristoff.
I smile.
But I ain't snitching more than I have to.
Okay. Snitch what you know now.
Alright, fine.
Snitch what you know now, and anything that you can end up finding out for me while we're in town. Okay?
Alright, fine. I know there are at least 2 gangs here.
Okay.
They call themselves members of the Thieves Guild, but I know for a fact that they aren't. I've met real members. These aren't them.
What's their names?
Fuck you.
I almost think that kid like literally said that.
I'm gonna act like I'm putting a tracker spell on him, and then go into the tavern so that way he can't run.
One's called the Black Circle.
Okay. Black Circle?
Yeah.
Alright.
The other calls themselves the Covenant of the Dagger.
Covenant of the Dagger. Okay.
Trying to be all fancy or something. I don't know.
What do you know about the fancy merchants?
Merchants? Well, they don't care about us here in the north.
Well,
They just want to sit up there in their big gilded hall and not do anything to help us. Just help themselves.
okay.
They just want more and more money.
I agree with you. It's not fair, but here's the deal. I definitely need to get some information from them, and you know what? More information about them means that I can get more money, and I think you're going to be a big help, and it means more money for you too. It's dangerous, but you know what? A lot of people are gonna suspect a kid, aren't you? You know how to put on a I don't know anything face, right?
He stops, gives you an almost flabbergasted kind of look.
That face. That's
then
the one I'm looking at.
Well, no, he gives you a look that almost seems to say, "Really?" And then, almost like magic, his face transforms, and all you can see, despite the fact that you know that this is a kid that just stole from you, all you can see is a homeless orphaned little boy who just looks terrified. Please, sir. I'm just a little kid.
That's what I'm looking for. Alright. So, just for that, I'm going to give you 10 more gold now. So that's 20 gold to you at the moment.
Fine.
That's a lot.
Well, fine. I'll tell you. I'll be your little spy. But you gotta do something about the Black Circle. They're the ones who run things around here. At least unless the Covenant of the Dagger gets their way.
Okay.
It's run by a dark elf.
Hey, Milan.
Mm-hmm.
The Black Circle's run by a dark elf.
Okay.
Okay?
Do you not know his name?
That might be a problem.
His name is Dinor.
I wonder how many names he's gonna get out of him tonight.
Dinor. Okay.
Dinor. His name is Dinor Zafra. Zaphra. He's the one who runs things around here. He even runs us.
Okay.
Because we ain't got nowhere else to turn to. You get that?
Mm.
They don't care about us who don't have any parents. So we gotta fend for ourselves, and when we fend for ourselves, Dinor doesn't like it. So he makes us work for him. So if he finds out that I'm working for you, I'm as good as dead. Frog or no frog.
My lips
Don't
are
you know?
sealed.
Don't you know? I'm just a new person in town. Nobody'd actually expect a new person, would they? Turning it back on him.
Yeah, you got a good face, but you're here and not back where the other people live their normal lives. No one comes here that don't have to.
Alright. So here's the deal. Early morning, you're gonna meet me at this tavern every morning, and I'm gonna need to get information from you, okay? I need to know about these gangs. I need to know anything that you can find out about the merchants. Anything that you would think would be any good information, I want to know it.
Fine.
Alright.
Do what I can.
Alright.
Troy, your stomach is rumbling like crazy.
Alright.
I about to poop.
I hand him a couple.
No, he's hungry.
Yeah. I said I was gonna go into the tavern.
Oh, did you?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that part. I'm sorry.
And just in case you're thinking about running, by the way, my friend over here, who you graciously stole money from, had put a tracker spell on you. Have you heard of that?
That's not a real spell, is it?
It absolutely is. That means that we will know your whereabouts at any and all time within this city. So if you ever leave or go anywhere that we think that you don't need to be going, it's toad time.
He looks like he looks like he's about to piss his pants and runs off.
Alright, so, into the tavern.
Yep.
Eladria, you have made it to the Temple of Avandra.
Okay.
You see her sigil on the back of the temple. Picture like a church where the cross of Jesus would normally be. That's where you see her sigil.
Alright.
3 stacked wavy lines, like water almost. You know, change, water, flows.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's not a whole heck of a lot of people worshiping in here. Avandra is sort of known
It's
as
so hard for him to focus.
Avandra is sort of known as a trickster god. Not as malicious as others out there. She is definitely a source of good, but her personality tends to be chaotic. So people don't like to worship her all that much. But there is a significant number of people there, obviously, or there wouldn't be a temple.
Right.
You see one cleric basically maintaining a shrine underneath the giant sigil that's towards the back. You see a second cleric kind of speaking to a group of people like he's teaching a lesson. And a third cleric who is kind of setting out what looks to be like breakfast for the clerics.
Right.
It's kind of small, just some bread, a few slices of a few wheels of cheese. Nothing too big, but
You know how big a wheel is, right?
People in a frog spell.
okay, one wheel of cheese.
I'm just saying.
Enough.
Like one wheel of cheese is like 50 pounds. So I'm like, I don't know how much.
Yeah,
Well, it's
well,
probably not that big, but
I mean, those little ones that come in the wax that are like that big around, they call those wheels too. So
do they?
yeah.
okay. There's an average size wheel of cheese. That is.
I don't know exactly how much this wheel of cheese was.
No, I'm looking at
and
you.
really, it's been munched on. You can tell that these priests have probably had this cheese for some time, and they've just been consuming it slowly over the course of however long they've had it. So there's only really about half a wheel of cheese
Okay, yeah. 'Cause
and some bread.
The wheel of cheese on average is like 22 pounds. And I was like looking in like current day, like There's some cheeses on here.
Oh shit! What did I call? Was it the black hand?
The black hand.
Black circle. It was black circle.
Like,
I went to write it in my notes and I already
Had to
forgot.
do a drow.
I went to write it in my notes and I already forgot.
anyway. So.
Nerds.
I am going to take a praying position.
Okay.
Are they going to
Remind
do
me
the
again.
sex?
Remind me again who your actual god is.
I don't know if I ever chose one actually.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to give you a list?
I don't think we ever got a list from you, did we? Maybe that was what the problem was.
Well, she's.
I'm using the list that's in the DM's guide, so.
The Dawn War deities, or because I mean in the back there's a whole.
In addition to that, there's also Katie and
Just the
Callan.
Dawn War, right?
Those plus his god that we just absolutely loved, Caden Callan. There's also a god of civilization. I believe his name is Hexus.
Let me double check, but I'm 90% sure I haven't picked one. Nope, no deity. Alright,
Well, so if you, while you look into that, I'm gonna run up to the bar, order some food, and ask if there is any good magic shops and where all the best shops are.
I want to, while he's doing that, I want to look around and see if I notice anybody that would be thievish looking.
Make a perception check.
I'm gonna follow
Christoph, for you, Christoph. Say what?
I don't know, I was like, I'm gonna follow law.
Oh,
This is
I was
going to be a
about
problem.
I was about to say Lolth was also on the list, but then I forgot that Lolth is already on the list.
Yep, no,
So,
she's there.
Anyway,
Sorry.
Christoph, the guy plops down some of the greasiest sausage you've ever seen,
Oh, you wanted bacon.
and there's also a slice of bread that is just soaking into the grease nicely. And a tankard of mead that plops down, that kind of foams over the side of the cup, and he tells you it's going to be 5 gold for it.
Deal. Is that
He
including the information too, or I
The
guess
informa-
shops is.
he just starts kind of talking to you.
Okay.
If you're looking for information, why'd you come all the way over here? Or if you're looking for shops, why'd you come all the way out here?
Well,
Can't you tell that this is the part of town that nobody wants to come to?
well, I find that these parts of towns like this is where you find all the best stuff, all the under the shelf stuff. Plus, on top of that, I'm not as savvy with the lay of the land, so I'm looking for an expert's ear.
Well, maybe when it comes to information, you came to a pretty good place. I like to keep my ear to the ground. But when it comes to shops, there's really not much around here. You're going to have to go a little closer into town. And what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to start shelling out some of that gold you got in that bulging coin purse of yours. Because, let me tell you something. The good stuff, under the table or over the table, don't come cheap.
No, I would expect no less.
Especially not in this town.
Gotcha. So, is there anyone that you know of that I could talk to that would speed up the process of me locating the good stuff?
Depends on what you're looking for, friend.
Sorcerer stuff.
Sorcerer stuff. Okay. Okay.
Wands, robes, rings, amulets.
Toad smells.
What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go towards the middle of town. And what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to find a little shop. That's towards the western quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Now you said you're looking for anything magical. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, might I suggest going to Freysan's Sorceress Coditarium?
All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'll give that a look, man. Hey, thanks for the information. Here, take 3 gold for yourself.
Much obliged.
I elbow you for a second and be like, order me something.
Oh,
What was your perception roll? Nick?
19.
my friend.
You see all manner of roguish individuals. None of them seem to be professional to your eye. After spending time in the Thieves Guild, you kind of recognize that most guild members have a way of presenting themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's a subtle way, something that only another member would be able to point out. But to your eye, you don't see anyone that fits the bill. They all just seem like, your typical out of luck kind of person who has resorted to thieving as a way of surviving rather than as a job.
Just to make sure and see if there was anybody who may notice, I want to do a thief's sign real quick. So,
A thief sign? Go ahead.
thief sign. So, I put my... I'm making this up as I go.
Go
just
ahead.
for the...
Go ahead.
Do you do
Let's
Superman pose?
Do it.
So, I
Super
put my
Saiyan pose?
thumb on my nose with my finger like this, I cross my eyes, and I pat my belly.
By the way, I think she found her god.
Who was it? Who'd you go with?
Well, this was what I asked: is do I have to pick one?
I'll.
Well, who are you praying to?
Well, I'm in a temple right now.
Oh.
Well, I mean, as a paladin, don't you have to?
No.
I mean,
That's
I know
the
you-
discussion earlier.
I know you follow an oath. I mean, that's the big thing. But isn't there usually a deity that kind of like is behind the oath?
I don't think so. I mean, I have.
I mean, if you don't.
I have one. If you really want me to have one, you want me to have one. All right.
No. I'm thinking.
No, you're fine. Like,
Because I like, especially since you're taking the oath of revenge. I do like the idea of you not having a set deity.
Because at some point in the line, I'm gonna end up pissing off this deity, unless. Well, because I mean, like, yes, I'd be following the oath, but at the same time, it may go against
The oath doesn't
Would
quite
you-
follow the
Right.
the
Question.
deity.
Would you have gotten your powers without, or your abilities without a deity in
Yes.
the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. The paladins, like she said, work a lot different in 5e.
Um,
Paladins in past editions, their power usually comes from their god.
Yeah.
so let me read this real fast, and then I'll get back to you. I have one picked out, like
Okay. Okay.
if we need it.
Hang on. While she's doing that, I forgot your real name. Delg, would you mind if I borrowed a smoke off you?
No, not at all.
Cody, damn. Wow. Fuck. That was bad. I'm sorry about that. I literally forgot your real name.
Oh, yeah.
Delg, I
I
So-
only go by my real name.
I thought you forgot his character name.
To be fair, I only go by my real name 3 days a week, and that's when I'm at work. Most of the time, I talk to people.
Alright, so break time. Go get you some drinks or whatever fuck else you want.
I mean, I'm gonna go take a couple of nudes in your. No.
I do have a really nice tub.
Oh my god, I love your tub so much. Like, if I could steal it, like, I'm not sure how I would get it out of this house undetected, but I'll find a way.
I mean, I don't know if you can carry a 2,000 pound clawfoot tub.
No, that's what I got my husband for.
Oh. Yeah, well, I mean, if you can... No, and it's mounted into the floor.
I've been waiting
Yeah,
for
it's-
somebody to say that.
Hi.
Hi. I've been waiting for somebody to say break time.
Oh, break. Okay, so now it's my turn to whisper into the mic because nobody else is in here.
Yeah, like normal whisperer is a two.
Who's your daddy?
He'll never guess who it is.
Oh my gosh. Well, you said that now, so he might.
Still
But
won't know who it is.
he'll be listening to this later and be like, "What the fuck just happened?" I'm gonna whisper my sweet nothings to everybody.
Making good.
So I had a question for you, Milan.
Yeah.
What do you pray for?
Huh?
Like, what do you pray for?
You pray a lot.
No. Well, actually, this is the first time he's prayed in a temple since we left.
Oh, yeah.
It's been like a week. That's a long time.
Safe journey, all that good stuff. Just make sure I stay safe along the travels while I'm on my pilgrimage.
So what's the end goal here? What are you trying to accomplish? I mean, I'll totally ask you in character. I mean, like, because honestly, I'm completely curious on why you're with us.
Well, you're a group of warriors. I am a cleric that likes protection. You guys are providing that protection while I'm on my pilgrimage.
Gotcha. So where's this pilgrimage leading you?
I really have no set destination right now. It's more of exploring the surrounding cities and other deities.
Gotcha.
And seeing how the religion has been spread throughout the land.
So kind of like figuring out how religion spreads. Oh,
A little bit, yeah.
no. How familiar are you with 5e? That was obviously out of character, sorry.
Yeah. A little bit, but not too much. The other game I'm playing is a homebrew is also 5e based.
Gotcha.
This is very suspicious of me. Why? I mean, I'm a cleric. I'm gonna give you.
Oh, no. Like, shut up. Go back outside. I'm whispering stuff.
You're whispering sweet nothings.
I did say that, actually. Well, no. Actually, in character, I actually have no suspicions about you all. Actually, out of everybody, I trust you the most.
I know. I mean, you're attracted to me clearly. It's
So we're back on that. But here's the thing though, is that A, you have proven yourself in battle. B, you've never shied away from it. And C, you make me feel good after I get hurt. It's true!
It's not usually how you hear worded, but yes, I make.
Oh, I totally worded that the way I did on purpose, don't you?
Oh, don't worry, I know you did.
I know you did. If I make you feel uncomfortable, just tell me, okay? I don't want you to be like.
It's fine. I do enjoy.
I knew he enjoyed that extra attention.
Not enough.
But you're usually so quiet, and I'm like, man, freaking, he's gonna come up to me and be like, okay, you gotta knock it off. He's getting really uncomfortable.
No, I'm usually more the quiet. I'm usually more quiet as it is.
Gotcha.
I'm more not so much follow the leader, but I'm not so much the leader itself. If it goes against something I don't want to do, then I'll say something. But usually it's like, okay, I like where this is going.
Yeah. Well, usually it's one of those things, though, that, like, usually I either gauge it off of reactions or facial expressions. And you're giving me neither. Because A, you're not here, and B, you don't talk a lot.
Well, I mean, I thought you would have been fine with it, with the whole, I'm okay with the whole, I'm killing spiders and I'm okay.
Yes!
actually.
We need to go kill more spiders.
I'm down for it. Find a little dark corner later. Make sure no one else is around.
Make sure we actually close the door behind us so spiders don't get us.
Nah, that just makes it more adventurous.
Dude, I was totally expecting to wake up like strung upside down.
Well, I mean, that's the kinky way to do it, but I like it. Wait, this is still recording, isn't it?
Yeah. How long do you? Is it one of those things? What do you think? Does it one of those things that he actually listens to it immediately afterwards, or is it one of those things that's gonna be like 6 months down the road, and he's gonna be like, wait a minute.
Wait, who was what?
Oh, because they talked about editing the recording. So I'm like, is it one of those things that they do it immediately? Or is it one of those things like 6 months down the road they actually edit it and listen to what we say?
Oh god, I don't know, but we should make it as awkward as
Oh my god.
Speaking about jerking off.
I mean, you just gotta take it nice and slow, just make it...
Oh my gosh. And it has to be messy.
Oh, you gotta make sure you get the nice lotion that you...
Are we still recording?
Yes. No, lotion tastes nasty, dude. I don't know if fucking you do.
Yeah. Oh, but there's special KY jelly that you can get that heats up, gives a little extra friction.
Oh no, man, the tingly one.
Exactly. It gets a hot and cold there feeling.
Oh yeah.
There's no one else there, is there?
I'm tapped out here.
No. He's sitting over here listening. He's out of sex jokes, so.
No, it's okay.
For
I'm gonna
content?
make sure that there's no one else there, that way they can get in and just sit there awkwardly hearing this.
Oh yeah, no, everyone else is still outside. You're fine.
Oh, damn.
I mean, if you want, we'll wait, and then we'll...
You know, the funny part is the entire time that you guys are talking about this, I ended up having a song go through my head.
Yep.
Oh
And that
shit,
song-
they're back.
And that song was, and I have the time of my
I'm
life,
offended and I
and
have
I
rights.
owe it all to you, and I swear it's the truth,
And I owe it all to you.
Okay,
Your daddy.
so
Okay, so,
this is very muddled. Like,
okay, so,
I'll take one.
well, I will
But,
tell
like-
you that, Cody and I, looked up some stuff, and while you don't technically have to have a god, it really comes from your oath and all that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was reading it. It was
The
really muddled.
Player's
and
Handbook,
so-
it says...
Well, no,
when
I have it open. Yeah.
When sworn before a god's altar and the witness of a priest in a sacred glade before nature spirits and fey beings, or in a moment of desperation or grief with the dead as the only witness, a paladin's oath is a powerful bond. It is a source of power that turns a devout warrior into a blessed champion.
Yeah, but the thing that they put and it's a bond, like the source, the bond. You're like setting a set of standards to yourself, which is kind of like with the bond. So that's why it's like the fact that they included that or was the fact that it was like it wasn't required. But I am completely fine with taking one.
For the team.
Just take your god.
Oh, you have one picked up.
No, I was trying to remember the name because you guys were out there for a long time. Melora.
Oh.
Melora, okay. Goddess of the wilderness
And I should actually write that down before I forget. And you were like, didn't we have this conversation? I don't know.
I don't know, check the last recording.
Yeah, how often do you guys do the record? Have you guys edited any of the recordings yet?
Yeah, there's
No.
one on YouTube.
No. Wait, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the one that we've actually recorded instead of just streamed. It is up on YouTube.
How many views do we have?
Hold on. I'll check.
Oh, I'm torn.
Cody, before you leave today, plug your phone into the computer and give me this.
Yeah, we can do
that. Sandstorm.
No views.
It was Caden, Callan, and Hextor were the other ones that were part
Gotcha.
of
Get
the
a few
pantheon.
recordings and start.
Caden Callan,
sharing.
god of dumb luck. Hextor, god of civilization.
Gotcha.
No views, damn.
To be fair, we haven't like shared it anywhere yet.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
she didn't even
to
know
be
it was
fair,
there.
you guys gotta share
Sorry,
it-
like,
share
I
it
don't know
on
what the
Facebook.
fuck you want from me, dude. Like,
Hold on. What is the what's the name of it?
and plus we don't even have like video or anything. We just have the mic set up. So
Matter of
we're
fact,
like,
last I had
It's hard on
tried, it still
YouTube.
didn't even come up
Yeah.
in YouTube search
because YouTube
algorithm.
usually goes off of video.
Yeah.
Okay, League of Unexpected Heroes.
Ish.
Oh no, wait.
Are
I'm
you
sorry.
gonna seriously have it on your phone so we get a view?
Yes.
Hey,
That's
one's
actually-
better than none.
That's actually awesome. I love it.
And
That's
then
what she said.
Ah.
that's true. That is
If you
completely
back
true.
out and go back in, does it add another view?
But I mean, but you always have Jill. Jill will always be there for you.
Well, I want to subscribe.
Jill
to
will
it.
She's been
never
around too
fail you.
long. She's been around too long for me.
Aw,
Jill will never fail you unless you get your hand cut off.
is
Then
that
you
you,
just switch-
talking or
then
is
you
that
just
the
switch to her
cleric
sister.
talking?
Hey,
Both.
there you go.
Too long.
Okay,
although,
hey, cool. Now it's finally been an account long enough to come up if you search for League of Unexpected
Although-
Heroes. It took like a week
I can't
for it
say
to actually
anything.
The
show up.
problem is, I
And
don't know Jill's sister that well. To me, she's more like a stranger.
Well, that's why you sit on it and make it numb, and then it.
That's kind of what he's talking about.
Yeah. Honestly though, like given my age and everything, like I probably know about it, but I'm probably a virgin, so it's like
Well, I mean,
I
think about.
probably really am, especially given my background.
I was about to say, think about
Yeah.
your story.
Yeah.
You grew up and your whole family got slaughtered. Your whole.
Yeah,
your
right
whole-
as I was coming of age,
Yeah,
like
your whole thing, your whole hatch or hutch or whatever it's called,
Clutch.
got slaughtered.
yeah.
So
I need someone to teach me the
I
ways.
have
We'll
the
find you a
caption set
nice
up for
lizard
this,
folk.
and you said human rogue, but
He'll be,
it came up in the captions as,
It'll be
and we have a
nice
human
breed
bro.
With, what was
Okay.
it? Terrain.
It's now your
After I
job
get
because
done
you
praying,
pointed out to
I'm
go
going
through and
hunting.
correct the captions.
okay.
For never said for
Doug,
what.
what did you say you were doing?
I'm just chatting with people in the cafeteria.
Okay. Most people are getting up to leave.
Yeah, I'll just kind of wait around that area until I get summoned by.
Okay.
Yes.
Actually, as you're chatting with people, Arthur comes in, looking around, and
Bless you.
when he spots
Thank you.
you,
Bless you.
he heads right towards you. Ah, there you are. Where are your companions?
It's a good question. I figured they'd be down for breakfast, but I haven't seen any of them.
Well, our guild leader, Diessa, has asked to see you. Should we wait for your companions, or I mean, she does seem like she would like to reward you for helping me to get back.
Well, I figure I can take a quick look around and see if I can find them, but otherwise, I know them all pretty well. I reckon I can speak for them.
Very well.
Son of a bitch.
Very well. In that case, I shall await you at the top of the hall, right outside Diessa's offices.
Yeah, I'll be there within a half hour or so.
Sounds very good.
And yeah, if anybody comes back within that half hour, I'll
I'm not.
grab them. Otherwise,
Mine,
I'll head up alone.
I would like to, but my original intention was to look for that shop, so that I'm gonna not meta and stick with that. So depending on how long it takes me to locate the shop, I may or may not.
Are there any like guards posted at the doors that would have seen them leave?
The Merchants Guild doesn't really have guards per se. But you do find some of the staff who kind of maintains the building, who mentioned that they saw they saw 3 individuals who they do not recognize as guild members leaving the guild hall at first light, and a 4th person wearing a Bonded Stallions medallion whom they did not recognize also leaving.
Okay.
They however were unable to tell you
Son
which
of a
direction
bitch.
they went.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm not going out in the city
What?
after them.
Sorry, no, I was thinking.
Okay.
Some bitch.
Somewhere?
Bitch. Over the rainbow?
Somewhere
You're welcome.
out there.
I can't think of another song to follow Over the Rainbow.
Somewhere out there.
And Dunsky.
Fuck you too. Alright.
That's what I live for.
Okay.
So I'm singing all parts of Bohemian Rhapsody.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide.
Hey, you're welcome.
No escape from reality.
Honestly, I saw that coming.
Open your eyes. Open the sky and see.
Alright, so who's going next?
Okay, so
I just finished doing thief sign.
Christoph, did you immediately leave the tavern after getting your information?
Right after leaving an additional 5 gold for his meal.
Okay.
So I need to take out.
And you did your awkward little thieves gesture.
In all reality, he just went.
And
I
okay.
suppose that's my fault. If I had known he was going to try, if I had known there was going to be some sort of thieves gesture, I probably would have thought of something for you.
I don't know,
I
that's
mean,
pretty...
You have thieves' cant as a language, don't you?
Yes.
And it's usually a mix of like hand signs and
Mhm.
codes
It's
and whatnot.
like a variation of
Sign language.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's me. Like that's why I had that. So I was just going. Does anybody notice now?
You see, you get a bunch of looks.
You're like,
Of-
fuck you, fuck you.
you
You smell
get a bunch of looks of like
I
what
slept
the
with your
fuck?
sister.
A bunch of there are plenty of people who notice what you're doing. None of them seem to really understand why you're doing it. You
Did he just tell me to steal third?
you do.
And someone takes off running.
Go home!
You do
Go
see.
home. Go home. Go home.
You do see a shifty-eyed looking guy who kind of eyeballs you, goes back to what he was doing,
Shiny.
and then a little while
Feels
later
weird.
gets up to leave.
Be really loud on the recording though.
Oh.
Other than that, he's
Sorry.
really the only one that acts
Me. That's
peculiar.
probably-
Me doing.
Okay. I want to go follow him stealthily.
Okay, roll a sneak check or stealth check, whichever. It's the same thing. You know. Fuck me.
17 plus 22.
I mean, well, if you insist, I mean, your girlfriend's probably gonna get pissed at me, but. He said, "Fuck me." Like,
I think.
am I the only one that caught
I
that?
think.
No,
I think your husband would be more pissed than my girlfriend. Oh gosh.
He wouldn't want to. Never mind.
Woo, okay.
Join?
Oh my.
There's a reason why I can get away with as loose as I am.
Oh, buddy.
Oh my.
So, the man that you
Let's
were
get on
following,
here.
the man that you were following is quite well versed in the art of stealth. As you follow him, you can tell that he is checking his surroundings in a very subtle way. However, you manage to stay under his radar. You recognize a rogue when you see one.
Mm-hmm.
You recognize the signs, and you manage to stay in the shadows, creep behind boxes and other things that are littering the street, enough that it does not appear that he has noticed you.
That's what it's for.
You got like a little circle ice cube
Yeah,
thingy.
but see, but from the angle I was looking at it, it looked like a hard nipple.
It kind of looks like a fucked up Pokeball.
No, a little bit.
It's just like Pikachu's trying to get out, but it's just like, oh god, I'm trapped.
Hey, Troy.
Yeah.
Boil the water before you freeze it. It'll boil off a lot of the impurities, and you'll get clearer ice instead of it being all cloudy like it is.
And for the other listeners, now you know.
And knowing is half the
stones.
battle. The other half is murder.
I have whiskey
Reading
stones.
rainbow.
Or my roommate does. My roommate does. No, I never said I had those.
Why are you playing with your balls, man? Come on.
Oh,
Do you really have to ask that question? Like, do we have to have that conversation?
Please
Online,
enlighten me about the Birds and the Bees.
Online.
Or we could continue on with the story.
He seemed a little flustered. I was trying to give him a moment to compose himself.
Okay, so while you are following your
Because it's not going to get better when it comes back around to me.
the guy that
Hand
you're
gesturing.
following, while you're following the guy that you're following, Delg, you make your way up to the 5th floor of the guild hall. As he said he would, Arthur is waiting for you. The doors to the office are now open, and you can see Diessa working at her desk. The two of you walk through and approach Diessa. Oh, well, good morning. It was Delg, wasn't it?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Morning, cuz.
Always hard to keep track of the numerous family members we have. Where is the rest of your party?
I reckon they had some things they had to take care of in town because they headed out early this morning.
Oh, they didn't want to stick around to see what I was going to do for them.
I guess not. I guess they trusted that you were good for.
Well, that I am. I wouldn't be as successful a merchant if I wasn't good for my word.
I'm not there.
Now, as we discussed last night, I am prepared to bestow upon you a number of
Alcohol.
Kraken and root beer.
Okay. Haven't had crack in a long time.
You're so
I normally prefer, better alcohol.
Oh.
Yeah, I just insulted Kraken. Shut up.
I figured you
Oh,
insulted
no.
It's a
me.
Troy.
I was about to say, I was like,
I bought it because of the bottle.
You want to see a nice looking bottle? I will show you a nice looking bottle.
For not $200?
No, it's only 50.
Yeah. This was not 50?
Okay,
the last bottle I bought that was $200 was Blue Label.
There are. Ooh, that sounds nice.
It goes down really smooth.
That's what she
There
Hey
are.
guys, so I'd like to head on out, okay?
That's what
Oh,
she
are you
said.
good? Are you got stuff to do, man?
Yeah, something came up.
That's fine.
Sorry.
That's fine.
We'll have more sexy talk time later.
Of
That's
course.
okay. You
He's still
pretty sure you
covered
did.
in
I'm pretty
guts.
sure you did your stuff anyway. So
I haven't bathed yet, so.
Neither is he.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, you just went to bed bloody? Okay.
What's
All right,
in my
John.
bed?
All right, John. We'll see you. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
Later.
Goodbye.
Bam. Check that out. That's cognac, bitch.
Okay. So anyway,
All right.
story time.
Continuing.
I
Wow,
just
we
wanted
get
you to try it. It's
sidetracked
fine.
so much. Hey, fuck you. I'll still drink it.
This is
Do
like
not try to take
Kraken
alcohol
suck.
away from the DM.
Kraken sucks. Get out of my face. Thanks, bitch.
And then he tries taking
Kraken
back.
sucks,
No,
Kraken
no.
sucks,
Kraken
drinks
is
it,
okay
like-
now.
I mean, it's what you got. So I didn't say I wouldn't drink it.
That is true.
Well, as we discussed last night, I am prepared to bestow upon you a very generous amount of gold. I do believe. How does 500 sound to you?
Is it 500?
Yes, I am. Arthur is one of our. Arthur's disappearance definitely did not bode well in my heart, and I wish to repay you with 500 gold.
Was that 500 each?
Oh,
Ah, there it is. That's my
Hey, I'm
boy.
a businessman too.
That's
so,
my boy.
You know.
I mean, if you're gonna speak first, you better speak.
sadly, I cannot do 500 apiece. We do have a guild to run,
So, guys,
and guild.
I pooped.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for telling our numerous followers about that.
You
Four
mean
people
follower?
are not going to care. Tom. I was being
Four.
gracious with 4 people.
I mean, 1,
Well,
2.
Oh, God.
Yeah, there's 6 of us here.
But you know, the guy listening on Twitch, next time I come out and announce that I poop, he's going to cheer too. So
All right.
we're creating trends.
So
Yeah, you got
Creating jobs.
Right?
Now, if the 500 gold is not enough for you, I do have more that I'm planning on sharing. In fact, as reward for your service to the guild, I am going to promote both you and Christoph to the rank of level 3 in the bonded stallions. Now, this may not seem like much, but given time, there will be plenty of opportunities to continue to grow within the guild, as well as opportunities for potential money making. Now, as for the rest of your party, because of the service that they have done to this guild, I am also prepared to offer them membership if they would like it. There is also one other piece of information that I would like to tell you about. Now, this has been very hush-hush. This has been something that I have been discussing with the hall leader in Iconium for some time now, and this is one of the main reasons that I wished to begin trade with Ashiam in the first place. You see, shortly after I was made the leader of the guild, I received a letter telling me that there was a Phrygian artifact that was found on the shores of Ashiam, within their lands. And they agreed to bring it to us. This is what was so important about getting Arthur back to us. Arthur steps forward, and he brings forth the arrow that you saw last night. Just as a reminder, this is a redwood arrow, intricately carved, a few little bit of designs on the arrow shaft, black feathers with a mithril arrowhead, also with a few intricate designs in the metalwork. This has just been looked over by one of our top merchants in ancient artifacts. And what they have found is that this is the arrow from the ancient lost civilization that once ruled over all of Phrygia. This elvish arrow is priceless to this nation. And this is something that we would like to be transported to the capital city, where it can be protected at all costs.
Yummy.
And if it please, I would like you and your companions to do it for
No,
us.
I can't. Okay, if you insist.
Well, of course, it would be
is this yours?
an honor to take on such a important task for the guild.
Upon completion,
No root
upon
beer,
its
hard candies.
return to
No hard candy root beers.
Oh yeah.
The shape of the barrel.
our safe place, we will pay you and your companions more than we already have, and you will earn even more prestige within the guild.
What the hell?
I'm gonna have to ask you to calm down over there.
We can edit that out, right?
Excuse me. Sorry.
We can duplicate it and edit it in randomly. If we wanted to.
Turn it into a song.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I swear to God, you guys.
And how much does that job pay?
A job like this, we could probably pay you 200 each. That is how important I am putting this task upon your shoulders.
Okay. Well, I say that all has to sound pretty fair.
Fantastic.
Tommy's over there making agreements for us.
Fantastic. We
You should know better to leave me alone.
He's the one who got
Well,
you in this mess in
technically,
the
you
first
weren't
place.
alone when we left you. You were with other people.
He's the one who got you into this mess in the first place.
I know, and he just technically signed me up for another one. You better have more ale coming, buddy. Because I'm going to be coming for you.
This is great news. I will inform the our liaison in the capital that you'll be arriving. It should be maybe a 2-day ride to get to the capital. And once you are there, you will need to find an elf by the name of Tanalee. She is the one who can take the arrow where it needs to be.
Tina, a girl.
She is.
Now, one thing I did want to ask if we're
taking this arrow with us. From the thugs that accosted Arthur, it sounded like they
Oh,
knew
damn it,
he
what'd
was
you
going to
roll?
be coming through. Like someone had told them.
Yes, that weighed upon me heavily last night. Arthur and I both discussed it at length, and we have been trying to figure out how they knew about how they knew about the transportation of the arrow. The only thing that we have been able to think of is that there was someone within this guild who is not what they claim to be. I'm not sure exactly who it is yet, but one thing that Arthur and I are almost positive about is that they are from one of the other 4 guilds. Someone from one of the other 4 guilds has infiltrated us and is trying to destroy us from within.
Well, may I make a suggestion?
Of course.
How about me and my group? We don't leave with the arrow until tomorrow. But you send a heavily armed group to the capital today.
Interesting. I like this plan. Basically, you want us to send a decoy. You want us to announce that we are going to be sending something so that the person who has infiltrated the guild will think that it's with them. This is good. Yes. I'll make all the arrangements, and I will be explicitly loud about it. The only people who will know about the arrow's true location will be the 3 of us in this room. If there is still trouble, then I guess we'll know who it is.
I reckon we will.
What's that yours? I'm not there.
I'm not there either. But it's interesting.
No, because I would have done things differently. So.
Oh, I have to.
By that
Well,
you mean trying to not go?
Well, I mean, I
So
agree with the
I'll have
route
to
that
tap
you're
out
trying
for
to
the night.
take, but for
I
her
go to
to
work
like
at
boisterously
6 in the
announce it,
It's okay.
it's counterintuitive, because the whole mission to begin with was secretive. So for her to go and suddenly announce it and make
Right.
it like
Well, but
it's counterintuitive.
the secretive one didn't work, so this time sending a bunch of guards, like,
Right,
as if
but
they
what
don't
I'm
realize
saying
that
is,
there's an
is
insider.
Send a bunch of guards, but still keep it secretive.
Yeah.
It's too late. You're not there.
I know. But this is why I'm like, this is why my face is twisting up, because I'm like,
Oh, before I leave, I want to roll to see if the food had ended up giving me.
oh hey, you ended up in a new area, you know that, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I haven't checked it, but it's fine. I want to figure out if the food that I ate earlier is basically giving me diarrhea.
Go for it.
The bubbly shits.
Okay, wait. The negative, like least amount, should be like it does, and like up to 20 should be like you're fine. Right. Whatever.
That's
We're
okay.
gonna make this a DC 12.
I got 16.
You're good.
You ate 2, Troy.
What?
Kristoff.
Why are you pulling Kristoff into your shenanigans?
Yeah. Why you gotta...
Roll for it, Troy.
Is there a save
It's
for
a
this?
DC 12.
It's a DC 12.
What'd you get?
7?
Did you get like a con mod or anything?
Is there
You
like...
suddenly soil your new robes.
Is there
I'm gonna say, as you're walking through the city, heading for the shop that was pointed out to you,
I can't believe
you
did
feel
that to him.
you feel your stomach roiling You feel it turning upside down, and you can tell what is coming. Make a Constitution save.
The purge is coming.
I just want to point out, my character's actions have not caused diarrhea to anybody. So,
Neither have
I'm not
I.
the most hated in the group yet.
Constitution. So it's a +4.
Me and the cleric, man, we're all
19.
You manage to will your stomach to behave.
Damn right I did.
The roiling slows down. You can still feel it simmering under the surface, but you recognize that the food was so greasy that you're going to need to find a bathroom sooner rather than later.
And when you do, there's going to be a halfling sitting there waiting to fucking chicken.
All right, we're going to go ahead and end it there since we've already had one player drop out and we're going to need a second player needs to drop out. But this has been a very interesting session.
It's been
I
too
love
long.
this session.
It's been too long.
So I really must apologize for it, and I promise we'll get back on a regular schedule. In the meantime, keep watching us at LOUH
Listening.
underscore
Listening.
watching, listening. Listen. Join in with our shenanigans at LOUH underscore ish on Twitch, or you can look up League of Unexpected Heroes on YouTube. We'll be posting there after every stream. So, in the meantime, good night, and thanks for adventuring with us.